Hey everyone, welcome to Car Review. Today we're going to do a spoiler-filled review of the movie Snake Eyes, so let's get into it. Snake Eyes is one of the worst movies I've seen in a long time, and is easily the worst movie I've seen in 2021. And, I've been hearing a lot of bad press about the movie. It's been getting dragged through the mud on social media. It's not doing well financially, and I was hoping that was just due to the times we're in, as a society. I was hoping it just had to do with the movie being kind of abstract. But no, it's bad. It is bad, and I'm really sad to say that, because I think at the core this movie just needed to be fun, and it needed to give us Snake Eyes. It needed to give us the classic, ninja G.I. Joe character. I mean, oftentimes when kids, think of ninjas, they think of Snake Eyes, even if they don't know who Snake Eyes is. They just think of that quintessential mask and suit, because he is, the cool ninja character of the G.I. Joe, character group. And he was my introduction into not only ninjas, like as a concept, but the G.I. Joe force as well. And the movie, for it being called Snake Eyes, there is no Snake Eyes. And since this is spoilers, I'll just get right into it. The movie doesn't have Snake Eyes. It has the person who Snake Eyes was before he was the character we all know and love. Okay, Snake Eyes is this super deadly, super cool assassin ninja who doesn't speak. And, for the majority of his mythos, we don't know his face, we don't know his real name, and we don't even know his voice. Yet this movie took a very risky gamble and gave us all of those things. Could it have worked? Sure. It would have been a monumental feat, but I gave the movie the benefit of the doubt, yet the movie couldn't do that. Again, monumental feat, so I wasn't expecting a whole lot there. But the problem is, though, is that by breaking down the character for some artistic value, I'm sure, they literally broke the character. We now have a face to Snake Eyes, we have a name, and we have a voice, and that takes away a lot of the character's mystery. And not only that, but the whole time I'm watching the movie, all I want is to see the guy in the black suit kicking ass, taking names, saying a few words, and the movie just doesn't give that. It gives us this convoluted, jumpy, jagged plot that honestly feels more akin to a Harry Potter type movie or story. You have literally giant snakes, and the G.I. Joe's version of the Sorcerer's Stone, they're going after magic jewels that I don't know how they work, and just by thinking and holding it, you can create fire. And again, the movie had potential, but it was incredibly misleading, because you look at any poster, you look at any trailer, any picture, any TV spot, no matter how long, they highlight the suit, they highlight the mask. He's on every poster, the classic Snake Eyes we all know and love, and he is literally in the movie for 30 seconds. At the very end, does Snake Eyes get his suit, get the mask. Doesn't take the vow of silence, but he gets the suit, he gets the mask. It sets up the movie we all wanted. And we had to sit through 2 hours of the movie we didn't want, to just get a peek behind the curtain of something that will probably never come, which is really sad. I had a fear that the movie would kind of do a bait and switch on that. I knew that they were going to set up more. It's just in the DNA of the film that there is franchise interest. But again, I was hoping at least the last act, the last 30 minutes, 15 minutes, we'd get, some classic Snake Eyes. But no, it is the last 30 seconds. And then that bleeds into Storm Shadow, Cobra, G.I. Joe. All these things are just mentioned, they're just shown, but they're never acted upon. And it's really, really frustrating, okay? Because the G.I. Joe movies that came before this one, the ones with Channing Tatum and The Rock and Bruce Willis, they did Snake Eyes better. They did the mythology better. Even though those movies weren't about Snake Eyes, he was a big part of those projects, okay? Because people love Snake Eyes. They love Storm Shadow. Yes, Duke might be the leader, but Storm Shadow is the face. Or Snake Eyes is the face of G.I. Joe. I mean, I really genuinely think that. If he's not perhaps the legitimate poster child to a lot of fans, old and young, he is the quintessential character. He is the Optimus Prime to the Transformers, or the Bumblebee, however you want to look at that. And they did a better job, because even in those movies, which were hit and miss at times, you got classic suit, no voice, and minimal backstory. Minimal. That just sparked interest, yet gave enough groundwork to see what this character is. And in that movie, or in those movies, the original two with Channing Tatum and The Rock and Bruce Willis, I believe we see his master die, which is why Snake Eyes takes the vow of silence, pardon that fly. It's why he takes the vow of silence when his master's killed. If I remember correctly from the mythology, that's why. And if I remember correctly from, I believe it's G.I. Joe 2, which is Retaliation, that scene takes place. You see that backstory. But in this, it wasn't Snake Eyes. It was this street punk turned vigilante, who I guess becomes Snake Eyes, but isn't Snake Eyes for 99.9% of the movie. And it's disappointing, and I don't know whose idea it was to have your good guys dressed in black, your bad guys dressed in black, and the majority of the film takes place at night. Okay? The action, I'm sure somewhere it looks good, but I couldn't distinguish anything. I'm a film fan, okay? I've seen foreign films. I've seen, movies that, are only shown in like special premiere theaters. Like, I go to movies as much as I can. And before, the pandemic hit, I was going to movies literally once a week. At least I tried to go. I'm the type of guy that knows directors' names, producers' names, how much a film costs, how much it makes. I'm a film fan, and I could not follow this movie. It's so poorly written, executed, and literally poorly shot. Because as I'm saying, they try to be so dramatic, but you just can't follow it. You can't. It's shaky cam, close up, swordplay set at night with your characters in black. Again, I literally was struggling to distinguish who is good, who is bad, who is alive, who is knocked down, who has a weapon, who does not have a weapon. I couldn't follow it. And again, I really tried to find parts of this movie I loved, but they're not there, and I feel really let down and frustrated as a G.I. Joe fan who has always wanted to see a Snake Eyes movie, okay, who has always wanted to see a Snake Eyes solo project. I'm not a huge G.I. Joe fan. I have the toys, I watch the cartoons, but besides Duke, Cobra, Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, and that's it. I can't name any other characters. I can't name any, of their classic lines or or weapons or vehicles or whatever. I'm not stooped in the G.I. Joe world, but I love Snake Eyes, and all I wanted was for Snake Eyes to just have his own movie. And you can call it Snake Eyes, and you can put the character on the posters and stuff, but it's incredibly misleading, and I'm really upset to say that. And to everyone who worked on the movie, from the director to the writers, to the stars, to the guys that set up the lighting, to the people that bring everyone their coffee in the morning, okay, to the interns, to the thousands of people employed to make this movie, I'm sure They all enjoyed themselves, and I'm sure they thought they were making a labor of love. I genuinely don't think a single person thought, oh, we're going to take their money and then we're just going to give them whatever. I genuinely don't think that was going through their minds. But I also don't see how you can be making that movie and think it's okay to not have a true, genuine Snake Eyes lead the movie called Snake Eyes. You know, I guess the one thing I could say that I like about the movie is that it had a great, you know, cliffhanger, because the cliffhanger was what we all wanted to see. And the entire time I was watching the movie, I was checking my watch, you know, checking the time, saying, oh gosh, we're down to, you know, an hour 15, and we got an hour left. We got 25 minutes left. Come on, give me some Snake Eyes. Give me some Snake Eyes versus Storm Shadow. And they just don't. And what stinks is that within that breakdown of that character, even a follow-up movie, which will probably never happen, I still don't think will be a true Snake Eyes movie, because in this movie they really deconstruct Snake Eyes down to just a brute, down to a typical orphan soldier who just wants vengeance, and he's not a good guy. Okay, he is a thug who happens to have a sword. And by the way, they never show him actually sword training. You know, but Storm Shadow was more of your anchor, I guess, to the world. I mean, he is someone who literally brings Snake Eyes in, who tries to train him, who gives him the knowledge and the know-how. And Snake Eyes just completely and continuously turns and flips on that. And, you know, G.I. Joe, I mean, it is, you know, G.I. Joe stands for Government Issue Joe, which is a play on words for just being your standard assembly line soldier. You know, the guy that says, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, where do I go, who do I shoot, no problem. You know, that's just when you think of a soldier, like World War II, you know, Vietnam era, you know, dressed in all green with the fatigues and the rifle, you know, that's your standard soldier. And yet G.I. Joe is a play on that, because they're not common, they are, you know, unique. They're highly skilled, cool, you know, super soldiers, you know. But Snake Eyes is not that, not in this movie. Man, I really thought we were gonna get a window into the childhood we always wanted, you know. Yes, I know that there have been animated features that highly feature Snake Eyes, you know, and I've seen some of those features, and yeah, those are great, but like every kid wants their favorite property to become a live action treatment. Even now, think of something that isn't live action, but you've always wanted to see it. Like for me, that's Halo. Okay, I love Halo. I play the games, read the books. I'm absorbed in that world as much as some people are with Star Wars. That is getting a live action treatment. Hopefully that turns out well. Okay, but I've been waiting for that for a lot longer than I have a Snake Eyes feature. But even still, as a diet G.I. Joe fan, however you want to call me, you know, I feel let down. I can't imagine, you know, the people who are, you know, perhaps giving their G.I. Joe figures to their kids, and maybe they turn on the TV one day and they see a Snake Eyes trailer, and then I don't see them being happy with this movie. And I don't want to be so critical. You know, in a review, you're supposed to talk about, you know, the good and the bad, and I'm a glass half full kind of guy. You know, even after I turn the camera off, I really try to be a glass half full guy who is always optimistic and sees the bright sides. But no, it's not there. It's just not there with Snake Eyes. It's boring. It's overly messy and convoluted. It's not true to the character or to the characters that feature the movie like the other Joes. There are some, and there are some other Cobra characters, but they're not even worth mentioning. You know, it's not even well, you know, filmed. It's just not even well captured. And yeah, I'm really disappointed by this. And it had been one thing if the movie was just kind of, you know, subpar, bad, even, but I found it disappointing. because I thought we were getting one thing and we weren't. And maybe that's my own fault. Maybe if I go back and rewatch the trailers, I could easily pick out, hey, this isn't going to be about Snake Eyes, or if it is, you're not going to get the true Snake Eyes you wanted, whatever. I mean, but again, like, the theater I walked out of has a huge cardboard marquee of Snake Eyes in full black suit. And that full black suit is in the movie for 30 seconds. Yeah. It's sad to say, but this Snake Eyes movie just isn't good. And again, if you want to see it, go right ahead. Please. Please do. I mean, even if you see this review and you're thinking, I have to see it for myself, I hope you find enjoyment. I hope you walk away satisfied. I want you to just have the time in your life. And if you are someone who watches this review and then goes sees the movie, please comment down below and say, hey, you might not have liked it, but I loved it. And that's what I want. It might not be for me, but hopefully it is for you. But again, I wanted more Snake Eyes from my Snake Eyes movie. So that is my sad, depressing review of Snake Eyes. If you liked this video, comment, share, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. All right, peace.